Okay, guys, I know it's late, so I'll try to answer anything I can to get you guys able to do your stuff.
Greg, is that kind of the worst case scenario for you guys in terms of all the injuries on defense kind of adding up at the end of this kind of gauntlet?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate assessment, Cratch. I think, they certainly tried. I'm really, really proud of them. I think about this week, coming off that Maryland game, as beat up as we were. They really, really tried, and for a while we were able to hang in there. And then, a lot of guys started going down and missing and different combinations, and we weren't able to coach well enough or play well enough to win tonight. But, I'm really, really proud of them. We're one of two teams in our league that played every game. And, every single day we talked about it, our number one opponent was COVID. And if we were able to defeat our number one opponent as a program, that we would have the opportunity to get better. And you get better in practice, but you also get better in live competition in games. And we were able to improve. So we won some, we lost some, but we got better. And a lot of guys got valuable experience that moving forward is going to be very beneficial. It's really good. I wish we could have won tonight. There's some guys that this was their last game, and I really, really wanted to win, but I also knew how hard it was going to be. Then we had a chance. We had a chance and just couldn't quite finish the job. And my hat's off to Nebraska. They did. They found a way to finish the job. So year one's in the books, and we'll evaluate everything. We'll make whatever adjustments we need to, and we'll keep moving this after we take a rest, because that'll be the first order of business, is get these guys done with school, take a rest, coaches take a rest, and then reconvene in January and start this thing moving again. But as I said to start, I'm very, very proud of our players and of our coaches, everybody involved in the program. Everybody worked very hard to be able to play a complete season, sacrificed quite a bit to be able to play a complete season.
We'll take our next question from Tom Canavan, AP.
Hey, Greg. Would it be fair to say that in the last game you kind of just ran out of gas? 9 weeks in a row, and
I don't know. I hate to categorize reasons why you lost. There was certainly a lot of people that weren't playing. There's a reason that guys are first-team players and second-team players and third-team players. I mean, you do stack them by who's performing the best at the time, right? So when you lose several of those guys, you got to, the famous word is next man up. Well, we tried. The next man up tried to do it, and the coaches tried to do it, but is it we ran out of gas? Maybe. Maybe it's a collective run out of gas. And I don't even think it's just the football or the injuries. I think it's everything. I mean, I check the guys, and I do bed check every night before the game. And literally we have 74 guys at the hotel. Probably a quarter of them were working on finals when I went to put them to bed at 11, papers that were due at midnight or 11:59, finals that were due at 11:59. And that's part of being a college football player, right? But I think collectively, the entire season, we changed our practice week, obviously, for the shortened week, but we literally didn't put pads on them this week. We couldn't. They just weren't physically able to do that, not even one day. We just didn't think their body would hold up. So I'm really proud, because they did. They gave it everything. Our energy in pregame, I really said, man, these guys are going to spill it here. But I think as some things went, injuries and guys that really started to feel it, it was hard to focus on the things that were most important to win this game. That's what gets you, is just you get a little bit off, and not against a team like that. They're big and they're talented.
We're going to go to Bobby Darren. Bobby Darren, 24/7.
Greg, can you talk about special teams tonight? You guys really kept you in the game, especially the play of Aaron and Adam.
Yeah, I was very, very pleased with our special teams. Certainly, you know, our punt team, led by Adam, was phenomenal. I thought the kickoff return was almost as good. I mean, you know, they're consistently getting the ball out around midfield and then hit the home run on the one. You know, again, there was enough chances for us to cash in to win this game. We just couldn't do it, you know, and that also is part of growing up as a program. But you can't put a value on these games we got to play. You know, to play 9 football games this year when we didn't think we were going to play any, that's really going to pay off for us going forward.
Chris Eisman, Gannett.
Greg, how close did Noah get to being healthy enough to play tonight? And then I guess just overall, what did you see from Art, the offense?
Well, Noah really tried, but he wasn't very close. Yeah, that was he did. I mean, he had some machine. I don't even know, one of these machines that the trainers and doctors give. I think the guy carried the machine around. First, I saw him with this thing to heal his hand for a few weeks, and then I saw this other one for his foot. I said, "You're going to get electrocuted, buddy." But he wanted to obviously play desperately, but just body wouldn't cooperate.
So the next question from Steve Politi, NJ.com.
Greg, I realize it's hard to assess a season this close to the end of it. I'm just wondering, 3 Big Ten wins. Overall, how do you feel about your first season back?
We'll do that, Steve, probably in a day or 2 or 3. But I really love these kids. They worked so hard to be able to do this. Like I said, there's 14 teams in our league, and you could say we're lucky. Well, maybe, but I always believe you make your own luck. These kids sacrifice so much. So when 2 out of 14 teams are able to play all 9 games, I think they worked really, really hard to play the game that they love to play and to play it together. That's why I felt so bad for them down in that locker room, because some of them, this is it. And some of them, they're going to miss their teammates that aren't going to be around next year or next semester. So, but we'll wrap it up the right way. We're not going to rush out of here. We'll, our finals go through to Tuesday. Not that everybody has them all the way to Tuesday, but we'll get together as a team like we always do, and then do our exit interviews and make sure everybody has got everything taken care of. We'll have some surgeries that have to get done this week. So that's a big thing that has to happen, and we actually have quite a few. So, that's what a 9-week physical season bears on a team. A lot of guys played through pain that, they knew eventually they were going to have to get surgery. So that's where we start. That's where the off season starts rather quickly. A lot of guys have already had the MRIs and everything to be prepared. So I think Dave and his staff are ready to go, so we can get it done as soon as possible and start the road to recovery.
Patrick Mulranen, Press of Atlantic City.
I think you're on mute, Patrick. Patrick, I think you're on mute.
You good now?
I can hear you now, yep.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
I just wanted to ask, you were talking on a little bit earlier that, you played all your games this season, all 9 games. Can you just kind of talk about that, how special it is? I mean, you only said you're 2 in the Big Ten. Other conferences around the nation, they can get as lucky. Can you just talk about the special, how special that you guys got out there, all your games that you had?
Yeah, I do think it's special, Patrick. And I guess there was 2 in our league, and someone told me, I don't know if this is fact or not, but there was 10 in the country, including us, that were able to do it. So play every game that they had on their schedule. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I am very proud of our guys for doing it. Again, not the fact that we played all our games, right? I mean, some of those people didn't play a game because the other team canceled because they couldn't play. The fact that I'm most proud of is that they sacrificed for each other to be able to play the game they love. Like, that's what shows me. I've said oftentimes to you guys, as bad as the virus is for everybody, the one thing for a head coach in a new program is you get to kind of get a real glimpse into how important football is to each guy. And a program that can keep each other safe for that long and be able to play every game, I think, I think it deserves, some credit. And I've given that to them. I am proud of them.
Fonseca, NJ.com.
I think you're on mute. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Now I can.
Is this better?
Yep.
All right. Sorry. Christian Using comes into gets 4 takeaways tonight. Came into tonight with 2 straight games with an interception. I guess just how did you think he performed tonight, and how much have you seen him grow over the course of the season?
Well, I was really excited to see Christian Izzy when I got here. I'm very close with his high school coach, and he told me, he said, "You're going to love this kid." And he's right. I mean, he's fun to coach. He's totally committed. He works his tail off, and he's a really good player. So the best part is he's going to be around. So can't wait to see how good he can get. And we're going to work to keep making him better and better, because I think he can be a really dominant player in this league.
Aaron Brightman, on the Banks.
Coach, due to the circumstances of this season, was it the most challenging season of your coaching career, and will it actually be a benefit long term in terms of the way this team responded and instilling your culture and foundation for moving forward?
Nothing will ever match the year with Eric LeGrand, but yeah, as far as circumstances unrelated to us solely, yeah, this is the toughest thing we've had to deal with.
And just about how will it benefit, moving forward, the way these guys responded? Do you feel like it actually kind of sped up your ability to instill the culture that you want to have here?
I do think that, Aaron. I think in many different ways it did that, including the one that I said earlier, that I saw how much it meant to certain people, right? Because the things we asked them to do were not easy things to do. And if it's not that important to you and you don't care that much about your teammates, you might not do it. So doesn't make him a bad person, again, it's all about how important is this game to you and how important are your teammates and your program to you. That, to me, is what sets programs apart. And when you get an unselfish group of people that are willing to do things for each other, sky's the limit. So I think that there's definitely growth that is going to come as a result of this. But, I mean, that's a football team. We're talking about people, tragedy all over. So it's hard to even put into context, right?
Take our final question from Chris Nowalski with Rivals.
Hey, Coach, you kind of touched on it earlier, but obviously the seniors all have, to make a decision soon. Do you almost have to recruit them again to come back next season?
I don't try to talk people into that. I think it's really hard to play college football in our program if you don't want to do it. So if I will educate them for sure. If it's an NFL decision, I always try to, just as if they were my sons, I try to give them the good, the bad, and the ugly of what could happen. And having been in that league and coached in that league twice, 2 different times, I think I'm a pretty good source for them of information. But ultimately, they have to make that decision. Some of the guys, it isn't an NFL decision. They just may have had enough football in their life. Their bodies may be telling them enough's enough. Or it's time to go get a job and get on with life. So I think everybody has their own individual situation, and that's why we don't just rush out of here. We have exit meetings. I meet with guys this week. I meet with them next week. everything in our program is very much out on the table. It's very much like a family. We discuss it all, but then every single person has to make the decisions they feel that are best for themselves. So that's where I leave it to them, and when they decide they're coming back, then they are all in. They're coming back. There's not, it's not half foot in, half foot out. You got to be all in to be successful in our program. So that'll all get taken care of soon enough. But whether the guys are played their last game here or whether, they have 4 years left, I'm very excited about coaching this team. And as I said, disappointed about tonight for sure. We had an opportunity to do something that no Rutgers team has ever done, and that's win 4 games in the Big Ten. And as I told them, winning 4 games would not have been taking that trophy and putting it up here, right? But it's a step on the way. So we didn't get there. We won 3. So we'll go back to work after I said, we take a rest and then get back to work and keep building this thing. But I'm really pleased with our guys and looking forward to the future. So I want to thank you guys for your coverage all year. I guess we'll get maybe one more chance to hook up here on an end-of-year type wrap-up, but you guys have been awesome, and we appreciate you cover our team the way you do. Thanks.